The Alchemist in pink, playing the Chinese. Kind of a favorite civ, I think, for her. And Hadrian in yellow, playing as the Burgundians. This is Arena. King of the Losers, match 9. Game 1. We've got some cows out here. We have some nice... Is this the Chinese intro music? What is this? I'm a fan. This is probably Burgundians. I think Hadrian was the one that sent me this replay, so you're gonna enjoy a little bit of Burgundian's flavor right at the beginning of the game. Scouting those sheep. We know the deal with you know, it's Arena. The Alchemist picked this map. I think Hadrian banned, well, I don't remember and I'm not checking the logs right now, but he's the lower seed here, the Alchemist, so definitely a Arena player, along with her husband, Wiggle the Wise, who will be in the round 2 2v2v2v2 game. You've stuck around, you heard me mention him. Both Arena fans, I think I would say. We've seen some Mad Mangonel micro from the Alchemist in the past as well. So, looking forward to what she can make happen in this game. We have Hadrian kind of locked out of wood. Is there even a hole here? I think there might be. Wait. The small trees are working against me on this occasion, but I'm pretty sure that there is a gap between this wall, which means that his only safe wood at the beginning of the game, at least, is this right here. Very special spawn. The Alchemist a little bit more conventional. Both golds behind the TC for her. Both golds in front of the TC for yellow. I mean, they're both inside of a stone wall box, so not a huge deal at this point, but we also have some pretty far boars. Oh, we're looking at the Gaia POV, my bad. Look at that. One at least has been spotted by pink, so we'll see if she decides to take that. Yellow going for that boar already, and the villager garrison just to make sure he doesn't die. Pro gamer plays over here, leaving that cow on 1 food. There we go. Basically perfect timing with that boar. Yeah, GG about that last game. That if you're watching the YouTube video and you haven't seen Silly Seth versus Nut, 19.2, it's worth checking out. We've got a quick house over here with by a lumber camp, by a chopper. Berries. Okay, there are berries. You gotta make sure in H2. You gotta make sure this stuff is all the way that it should be. So far, basically, exactly what you expect from these civs. Let's check it out. Let's check it out a little bit. Hadrian has been saying that he really wants to dive into the Burgundians a little bit and see what they're all about, because they get some crazy bonuses. They're a fairly recent DLC addition to the game, and they get some really interesting bonuses, such as generating gold out of stone mines. A little bit of gold trickle. They find a little bit of extra gold hidden in there in the cracks. The Burgundians, and also generating food from relics collected, as well as having those unique units from the castle that have a charge attack, similar to Age 4 Knights. I think, kind of. They might just be on a timer between attacks. I'm not totally sure. China in this game, pretty similar actually. Yeah, David, to Age 4. Pretty wide tech tree, archer focused for the most part. Strong economy. Actually, they start with more villagers. I don't know if we spotted that at the beginning of the game, but start with more villagers and less food, I think, which is going to be part of the reason for that extra idle TC time from pink. But yeah, fairly slower, more boom scale. Strong gold positioning here. We'll see how long it takes Hadrian to break through these walls, if he's the aggressor in this game. They're actually really close to each other, because they're both kind of northern position. Scouting, looks like Hadrian has just now got around to the enemy base. The Alchemist going straight across the map earlier, making sure she knows what's happening. All right. And here we have a seasoned arena player. Immediately starting with the house walls behind the stone walls, because house walls, the stone walls aren't going to last forever, and sometimes you want to boom even harder than they can provide. So get an extra layer of defense in there, never going to hurt. Looks like the alchemist might be a little bit faster to castle age or to feudal age as well. Both players still producing villagers. We're not going to see like idle TCs much for that. And looks like they're both able to click up at pretty much the exact same time. They might wait for these villagers to finish. And Hadrian's going to need to find a new source of food. There's the alchemist clicking up on 21 vills. And there's Hadrian clicking up on 24. Let me get this back in place. I moved some stuff around for the 2v2v2v2. Now we gotta get it back where it belongs. Transform. Center. Vertically. Also, shrink it down a little bit. Whoa. Hang on. Just leave it. That's fine. There we go. Back to the game. Anyways. We're looking at basically the same feudal age timing for both players. Taking that second boar now for the alchemist. And we do have a barracks down and militia being created for our yellow player. Looks like he's just trying to go for some map control right now. The alchemist not spotting that out yet, I think. As we just have these scouts roaming, looming, sneaking around, keeping an eye on things. That's 4. So that's going to be 3 militia for Hadrian with the Burgundians. Probably soon to be men-at-arms. Expect that tech to come through shortly. And we get those villagers producing once again. Market blacksmith for the alchemist. Definitely just a naked fast castle play, if I had to guess here. No military units produced. And a watchtower in the corner just to make sure there's nothing too sneaky coming on. Or at least so you can get a bit more of advance warning. Got some scout action. Oh, excuse me. Hadrian housed at 30, by the way. But, okay, so the alchemist now knows about the militia. And we don't actually see man-at-arms coming through the tech just yet. Just going to have a little ring around the rosy and see if this scout goes down. It's going to be hard to catch, though. And we have wheelbarrow. We got second tier of, we got bow saw, lumberjack upgrades. This scout might go down. It's just running in a circle here. Yep. Alright. Tower's up, though. And that's going to push off any kind of aggression from this corner, at least, for the minute. Hadrian is definitely going to be looking for these relics, if at all possible. He's at least read the Civ description. He knows the bonuses. He knows he gets a trickle of food from the relics if he collects them as the Burgundians. And they look like they're in a pretty fair... actually, yeah, I tell a lie. Just pretty favorable towards the Burgundian player here, actually, with that one right outside of his gate. This one, so close, nearby. The other 3, a little bit more evenly spaced, but I think just the positioning of the players' bases, one being in the upper corner on the left, one being just on the top side, has led to these fairly central relics favoring yellow. A little bit heavily. Barracks coming down for the alchemist. Of course, you do need a barracks before you can produce any other military production buildings. So we'll see if that's what it is. Man-at-arms. Research complete. And just 3 man-at-arms now. Just, I think, trying to control the map, control the narrative for Hadrian. He wants to be certain he gets all the relics and has the aggressive foot forward going into the rest of this game. There's castle age for the Alchemist, actually. Very quick on that. 17, about 17 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. 11, 10, 5, 5. Okay, 10, 15, 2. I'm looking at the unit, the worker on resource counts. The Alchemist with 5 on stone. Definitely, I think more of a practiced fast castle build. And dropping a tower right behind this gate. I mean, you can just turtle up, drop buildings, drop towers behind any spot that gets pushed at this point and still just remain safe. As long as you're quick enough to react. There's Hadrian with the castle age now. And okay, the Alchemist is gonna be leaning into archers as the Chinese. That definitely makes sense. So the worker count has evened up again. So it's going to be 32-32. And Hadrian going to be pushed back. I think the Alchemist might even repair this gate right now. So now this kind of turns into, I mean, I think Hadrian was still kind of holding out hope that he could do some kind of a rush into some economic damage there, but the Alchemist has held it for now. Pressure was not strong enough, or the defense was too effective. So now it's going to turn into more of a late game. Who has the right army comp? Who has the better late game macro? I think, well, I don't know which one that's going to be. They are effectively equal on villager count right now. And, okay, just a few more archers coming out for the Alchemist. There's Hadrian's Castle Age. I think this is really when the Burgundians start to unroll their long list of bonuses in Castle Age. So the Alchemist dropping that second TC on the north. I wouldn't be surprised to see a third TC, maybe on this gold, maybe outside the walls. Potentially she saves up for a keep, or for a castle. I don't know. This is a very interesting spot for a town center. It's not really defending anything. It's only nearby to that wood line. I would have loved one right here on these deer too, because then you can just collect that free food. But Hadrian just going for a more aggressive posturing. Putting down a siege workshop outside of his walls. We'll probably see rams. I think he wants to just finish this as quickly as possible. He might cut a few too many steps out and end up paying for it, though. I don't know. Would like to see a castle from him to get those, forget what they're called. I just want a castle so that we can find out what they're called. The unique cav units. Right now, just researching Cavalier with a two-stable setup. We got a couple of Cavaliers coming out here, and the Alchemist with crossbow. Definitely the right move. I mean, the cavalry switch, she doesn't know about yet. Of course, she's only seen Man-at-Arms. Going for another tower, though, is going to at least reveal the siege workshop. The cavalry switch is going to play very well into crossbows. Like, Hadrian will be happy about that. Going to reveal those cav now. And deny that tower, probably, as well. So we'll see if the Alchemist decides to switch it up. Move into any kind of anti-cav unit. These cavalry archers will do well if she micros them, because they're fast enough to stay away from the cavalry for the most part. Let's check the movement speed even. We can see the movement speed here. 1.49, 1.40. So they will get caught, but it won't be as bad. It won't be as bad as the crossbows. Cavalier ram push. Exactly what we're getting right now. We'll see what happens out of this siege workshop. Nothing yet. I think he's still working on generating enough food, or getting enough wood to get anything going there. Eco 4640. I guess that's the power of the second town center here. Hadrian going for one base play into aggressive push. And the Alchemist is now responding to the middle map buildings with her own mid-map buildings, including a castle and a mirror siege workshop. So, wow. Here comes the ram. Probably it's just going to target the corner here. Hadrian knows... Oh, hey, sorry about that jump of the map. He knows about siege workshop. I don't think... Okay, he's going to see the castle foundation here, and I don't think there are enough units to deny or to defend from these paladins, from these cavaliers, unless she can pull him away to the southern side for long enough. Great movement with this army. You're going to lose it all, but you might still get the castle up. I don't think Hadrian realizes. It's possible this is an observer bug where he saw the foundation before it was placed, or the location, and then it just said, now he sees it anyways. It's irrelevant. He sees it now. Going to try to kill these 3 villages as fast as possible, I imagine. As we have the ram coming in here. And no, he's just going for that siege workshop for the minute. So that castle might even go up. Proved to be quite a delay for him. Second ram coming out now. And there's pikemen for the alchemist. Okay, not enough villagers on this castle, I would say. Probably something that aggressive. When you see units for your enemy out in the middle of the map, you're gonna need to pull a little bit more than that. But now it's worth just canceling, saving a little bit of wood, or stone, saving a little bit of stone, drop maybe a castle here since this ram is about to come through, and you're about to have paladins, cavalier, running all over your base. With not much to answer it. I mean, we do see some pikemen now coming out for the alchemist, but also Hadrian focusing fully on the aggression, is not worried about relics right now. I mean, food is the least of his worries at the minute, so makes sense. Gold might be nice, but he's doing work in the middle right now. I'd like to see these guys just run straight into the mill. Kind of like what we're doing. Oh, maybe not. Not yet. What's the scouting like? He doesn't even know it. He probably thinks the TC is right here. And the answer we're getting for now, at least, is a mangonel. Slow, weak to melee attacks. Not the greatest in dealing with cavalier. But this is just very clean from Hadrian. Taking that speed boost that he gets from only having 1 TC, turning it into a very aggressive push straight into the enemy's base. Great stuff. And there goes the second mangonel. The alchemist garrisoning just a ton of vills. Cav armor upgrades, doesn't even need a ram to take down the TCI. I think he probably has critical mass here. He could just dive the town center. As this castle is still not cancelled, and she's trying to get it up. Good effort there, at least. There goes the mill. I mean, Hadrian, I think right now is just suffering. This attack is suffering from a lack of any scouting. He doesn't know where the opponent's eco is behind this, so he's just killing all the buildings that he comes across. Doesn't want to see any more mangonels out, so that makes a little bit of sense. Now he's probably just going to pull back and let the Rams do the work on this town center. But with the amount of idle eco that we're seeing from the Alchemist, just sitting in the TC, like these guys could be at least chopping wood or something. That's just giving Hadrian a huge advantage in resources gathered here. It's a lot to deal with though when there's this many cavalier on your face, so gotta give him a little bit of grace on that, I guess. As we see some more villagers going down, trying to mine their stone. We'll see how long the Alchemist can hold out, but at this point I think this isn't a Wiggle the Wise versus Arduous Vape game, so it's probably about to be over. Looking a little bit rough for the Alchemist for our Chinese player. 41 to 48 vills, still not terrible. But if we check the resources gathered, screen we'll all be familiar with at this point as I lean much too heavily on it. 19,000 to 15,000, so at this moment. We're seeing the right unit choices here, minus the commitment to mangonels. I don't think that plays well into Cavalier, but a few more barracks and this might go a different way. Because the only unit for Hadrian right now is these Cavalier. So enough pikemen, you could take it back. You could take back control. However, yeah, there it is with 58 to 7 KD.